ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुविज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 7, Verse number 7. This is Bhagavan Sri Krishna speaking to Uddhava, because Uddhava has asked him to take him with him, because Krishna was going to leave the planet. He has completed the purpose for which he came, and he has lived for 125 years. So Bhagavan said that what Uddhava says about him is true. He is going to give up now and doesn't want to stay anymore, but he wanted that he should live here, not go with him. At the same time, he says that he should give up all attachment. Tvam tu sarvam paritajya seneham swajanna bandhusu maya vesa manasamyak samdrik vicharasva gam. So this was his instruction, that he should continue to live here, giving up all attachment. Now he speaks more on that. Mohini.
Yes, in one of the previous class it was questioned like whether it is known which deva entered which parikar, the eternal associate. So we only know that Kamadeva entered Pradyumna. So is there any logic which deva enters which parikara, or is this randomly done? Like any deva can enter any, or is this done with a specific pattern? Why Kamadeva entered Pradyumna and not someone else?
So but there is a relationship, that's where they enter, there is similarity. It's not just random. Okay. The mood matches that.
Okay. And is there, why the devas have to enter parikar? Why they can't come as an independent entity in the lila, to take part in the Prakrit lila?
Then they have to take separate birth. So this,
would be the harm?
They have to have relationship with their parents. They have to have that karma. This was just for specific purpose, which Krishna said you should go and participate. It's basically giving them opportunity to be part of his Leela. Yadidam mansa vacha chakshurabhyam shravanaadhivihi naswaram griyamanam cha vidhi maya manomayam. So Sri Krishna is speaking about some Gyan. Gyan here means knowledge that this material world is not what we think, all these relations are not what we think. Basically something which inspires renunciation, vairagya, which is also important because to participate in bhakti some vairagya is necessary. If vairagya is not there, then people cannot do devotion because their minds are attracted to the sense objects. So that is the significance, how the first instruction which Krishna gives is about Gyan Marg, renunciation. So he says that what you are perceiving with your senses, with mind, with speech, with eyes, with ears. So he says, know this all to be Naswaram, that it is all perishable. It is not eternal. And Maya Manomayam. It is a product of Maya, which functions through the mind. So therefore you should know this, that just like we dream at night, so the dream happens in the mind, but it appears real, just like what we see when we are awake. It has some existence, some satta is there. It's not that it is absolutely non-existent, then we will not perceive it. But it is not something which like what we perceive when we are awake. It's a different type of reality. And it is manifest in the mind. So now he is saying that what we are seeing outside is also Manomaya. Because we perceive it also in the mind. whatever we are perceiving, or through our eyes, through our ears, and other cognitive senses, ultimately it is all perceived in the mind only. So therefore it is not what we are thinking. Just as when we dream, things are not as what we think, and we realize it when we wake up. So in the same way, now when we are perceiving objects all around us, we don't know what they are actually. Because some light is falling on an object, and then that object appears yellow, blue to you. But is it that true that the object is yellow? And it appears yellow because it reflects yellow light. What is its own color? We don't know. We have never perceived it. We only perceive what it reflects. And if you have a colored light, then that object starts appearing that color. So similarly, shape, when our eyes are not normal, then things look different. Then you put on glasses, then they start appearing different. So which one is true? So therefore it says Manomaya. Somebody is color blind, then they see different color. So who is right? One who is color blind or you? Because majority of people are not color blind, so they say, oh, he is color blind. What if majority of people were color blind and there were one or two people who are not color blind? Then they will say, this guy is wrong. He is seeing it yellow, but actually it is not yellow, right? So which one, who is true and who is not true? So therefore he says, this is what Maya is. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham. This is what is Upanishad says, that the truth is concealed by the Hiranmaya patra. So he says, Naswaram grihe manam cha vidhi maya manomaya. So nanu kidrisham samdrikatvam tatraha yadidamiti. So earlier he has told him that you remain samyak samdrik vicharasva gam. He said, have equal vision. Samdrik, samdarshi. So samdarshi means Brahmane gavihastani, vidyaguna sampanne Brahmane gavihastani, sunaicha sapakecha pandita samdarshina. So seeing things same. So this is the formula he is giving, how to have some darshan or samdrik, how to be samdrik, how to have equal vision. That is being described here. Manadibhir grihyamanam yadidam prithvyadikam vartate tatsarvam jagare mayamayam mayik kalpitatvanshena tulyameva swapne manomayam maya kalpitatvana anse sarvam tulyameva. So he says that whatever we are seeing through with our mind and other senses, because mind is not coming directly in contact with the sense objects. It comes in contact through the senses, external senses. So therefore he says mana adibhir griyamanam. And what is that? Whatever we see outside, solid objects, basically what we perceive things, some things are solid, some are liquid, some are gaseous. That's what we perceive. And then there is hot or cold. There may be hot, cold, fire. These are all we perceive. So he says all this what we are perceiving, vartate tat sarvam jagare mayamayim. So two states, we perceive in two states. We perceive in our wakeful state and we perceive in our dream state. Then there is a dreamless state, we don't perceive anything. Then also we exist, but there is nothing known. So he is saying that in both cases, both ways, in both of these states, wakeful state and dream state, the mind is functioning. In the deep sleep state, mind doesn't function. So ahamicha supte, even ahankara doesn't function. Buddhi, nothing. So he says in Jagare, Maya Mayam. What is Maya Mayam? Maya kalpitatvam sena tulyameva. So everything is a product of Maya, produced by Maya, Gunamayi Maya. So everything is equal. It's like you take gold. With gold you make various types of ornaments. So they're all gold only. The name and shape are different. Earrings, nose ring, bangles. So all these have different shapes and different names. But the basic material is gold. So they are all equally. If you take any of these objects to a goldsmith to sell, he is not bothered about the name and form. He sees how much weight it is. He will give you money for that, because in his eyes he only sees gold and not the name and form. So you cannot say, well, this is worn in the feet and this is worn on the head. Why are you charging the same money for that? I mean, giving the same rate. Should have more rate for something which you put on your head or on your ears than what you put on your feet. So he says, no, for me it is all gold. So he has an equal vision, at least about one thing. He doesn't see anything more, unless he has to sell it, then he doesn't have.
Bhaji, this same discussion ties to our understanding of avyavi also, no? When Jiva Goswami will explain in Paramatma Sandarbha. So, little confusion I had was, there he will mention that it is Aikya Buddhi, like Apeksha Buddhi, Aikya Buddhi, Alambana Rupa, it is. So now my confusion is, here it seems that the Kalpana that we are seeing, perceiving how it is, that is because of Maya. So, there he will mention that the Aikya Buddhi Alambana Rupa is Paramatma himself. So now, how to understand it? Is it that Paramatma is making you perceive, or is that Maya's nature is this way?
So Paramatma is sometimes just like Krishna says, Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. Says, from me comes remembrance, forgetfulness. Does it come from him or it comes from Maya?
Okay, so it is said in that sense.
No, you can speak in different ways.
Okay. So the next thing I had was, okay, this is in Maya, so we don't perceive it as Shakti, we perceive it as this particular object here. Now my point is, if I have to perceive something in one particular way, that is because I have some particular karma for that jnana. That is what I am thinking.
Also, I have to do vyavahara
with it. Correct.
Vyavahara is not possible without seeing the differences.
Correct.
So there is some darshan and some vartan.
Correct.
So for vyavahara we have to make distinction.
So I think this answers. I was asking, how come everybody perceives it the same way, so then it is for the reason of vyavahara.
Otherwise vyavahara will not work.
Okay.
So in this equal vision which he is saying, samdrik, is so that you can develop detachment. Because in the previous verse he had said that tyajya tvam tu sarvam parityajya sneham svajana bandhusu. So when you have to develop detachment, then this type of vision is very important. When you have to function, so you can also function with attachment and without attachment. That does not mean that now you are not going to eat food and you will still make a distinction what is edible for human beings and what is edible for the cow. Not that you say, well, it's all equal, let me eat grass. So having equal vision is one thing and functioning is different. So that is also has to be seen.
So the next thing was, it seems that the way Shankaraj described Vyavaharika Satta, that has some sense of truth to them.
Yeah, the only thing is that they think that this Vyavaharika Satta
is absolutely not there.
Yeah. So that's, but Vyavahar is there, Paramartha is there. It's not completely wrong, but they take a little different view. So Jagare Mayamayam Maya Kalpitatvam Sena Tulyameva. So therefore it is all equal. Similarly Swapne Manomayam Mane Kalpitatvan Se Sarvam Tulyameva. So he says when it is wakeful state, then you know that it is all manifestation of Maya. And when it is dream state, then it is all manifestation of Manas only. It's all the samskaras. Although that is also Maya, but it is more internal. Here it is more external. But in any case, Maya and Manomaya. So this is therefore, he is basically taking the meaning of Maya, Manomayam as Mayamayam and Manomayam. That's how he is applying it. Mayat Pratyaya is there, so that Pratyaya is applying both on Mayamayam and Manomayam. And then saying that it refers to the wakeful state and dream state. That's how he is applying it. So then, next. Pumso ayuktasya nanartho brahmah sa gunadosha bhak karma karma vikarmeti gunadosha dhiyo bhida. So, if you do not have that equal vision, then what happens? Then you are in the Brahma. So Brahma means when you are in illusion. Illusion means not knowing things as they are. Tadvati tat prakarakam jnanam prama. Atadvati tat prakarakam jnanam brahma. So knowledge is of two types, or rather cognition is of two types, valid and invalid. So when we understand things as they are, that is what we call as Prama. Although ultimately that Prama also, when you see from Paramarthic point of view, is also Brahma. So he says that one who does not see things like that, he is in illusion. That person is called Ayukta. So Ayuktasya Pumsasya Nana Artho Brahma. That is the meaning. So one who is Ayukta, Ayukta means who is not united with Bhagavan. So Gyan Vijnana Triptatma Kutastho Vijitendriya Yukta iti Chitta Yogi Samaloshta Asma Kanchana. In Gita Bhagavan says, who is Yukta? Yukta, he says, Samaloshta Asma Kanchana. Who sees a piece of clod, stone, and gold as same. That they're all Maya, they're all just products of Prakriti. Even from chemistry point of view, they're basically some carbon, some hydrogen, some other element mixture. Just put it in a certain way. There's not much difference. So, but a person who is ayukta, who is not a yukta, who is not jnana vijnana triptatma, who doesn't have theoretical understanding or experience of it, who is not vijita indriya, who is under the control of his senses, because when you are under the control of senses, then a particular object appears very attractive to you. The same object will not appear attractive to another person or another species. What appears attractive to you is not attractive to a dog. A piece of bone may look attractive to a dog, but not to you. So why is that? Because we are in Brahma. So, nasti buddhya yuktasya, na yuktasya cha bhavana, na cha bhavyata shanti ashantasya kuto sukham. So one who is ayukta, he does not have buddhi, and therefore he doesn't see things. So he says, punsho ayuktasya nanartho brahma, and then what happens? Sa guna dosha bhak. So then he has the concept that this is good, this is beneficial, and something else is not beneficial, something is bad. So all this idea of good and bad, then this concept comes in the mind. And for this such a person, then we have the Vedic injunction, what is karma, what is akarma, what is vikarma. Iti gunadosha dhiyo bhida bhavati. So this distinction of gunados bheda happens, means the division in the intelligence of good and bad happens. Soktameva artham prapanchayati punshayati. So the above meaning he expands in this verse, that punsayuktasya nanartho brahma. So nanartho, nana vidho artho yo guna dosha bhak. So variety of objects, then he has concept of guna and dosha. So guna dosha iti vyakhya gunatamena vastuta. No, that is baddha mukta iti. Okay. So guna dosha, what is that? Guna dosha, ubha dosha, gunastu ubha varjita. Guna dosha iti dosha. So ayam artho, gunam bhajta iti utkrishta. So when he says that this is guna, this has virtue, so then he says that it is utkrishta, this is superior, something desirable. Ayam artho dosham bhajta iti nikrishta. And this object has vice, defect, full of flaw, so this is inferior, nikrishta. Punsho ayuktasya jnanino brahma brahm pratita. So this is the brahma which an ajnani, ignorant person, who is called ayukta here, this is how he sees things. Guna pravaha patitanam kova artha utkrishta kova nikrishta stesham vaka utkarsha. So he says that actually things which are material, so what is high, what is low, what is good, what is bad, says it has no meaning. Yaduktam Chitraketuna. This is spoken by Chitraketu. He says, Guna pravaha etasmin ka shapa ko anugraha ka svargo narka ko va kim sukham dukkham evet va. So he says that all this is just a flow of guna, all around. Everything is a product of the gunas of Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So he says, what is a blessing and what is a curse here? So from spiritual point of view, it is all same. From material point of view, we may have, do have that. But from spiritual point of view, what is the difference? Heaven or hell makes no difference. So therefore you say, Kva Svargo Narkako. What is heaven, what is hell? Kim Sukham Dukkham Eva. So Sarvam Dukkham Eva Vivekina. Yoga Sutra says that for a person of discrimination, everything is just dukkha only. Nanu Vedenaiva Vidhi Nishedabhyam Gundosha Uktau. So now Purupaksha is raised that why you say like this. Veda himself makes a distinction what is good, what is bad. Because he says if you do this particular activity you will get punya, if you do another activity you will get sin. You should do this, you should not do this. So this distinction is being made by the Veda itself. So why are you saying this is Brahma? So Satyam Vedo api vidya vad vishaye vidya. So he says, yes, you are true, you are right. But he says Veda itself is talking about objects belonging to avidya. Because it's speaking for those people. Tragunya Vishya Veda. Veda is also talking about three gunas. Nistragunya Bhavarjuna. Karma Vihitam. Karma means which is prescribed. Akarma Tallopa, which is not prescribed. Vikarma Nisiddham. Vikarma means which is forbidden. This came earlier also. Bheda bhedo gundosa dhiyo gundosya reva dhiriyasya tasya gnana. So he says that this kind of concept, this is only for ignorant people and not for others. For other person, he becomes dispassionate to them, as Krishna said, Yadate moha kallam buddhirvati tarishyati tadagantas nirvedam srotavyasya srutasya cha. So when your buddhi comes out from this marshy water of illusion, moha kalila, then you go beyond whatever you have heard or what you may hear from the Vedas, all the yamimam puspitam vacham pravadanti, yamanishana, all this flowery language. You don't pay any attention to that. Tasmad yuktendriya gramo yukta chitta idam jagat atmanikshasva vitam atmanam mayi adhishare. So therefore what is to be done? How can we be free from all this? So he says that tasmad yukta indriya gramo, that control your senses, and yukta chitta, and control your mind, which means you have to fix it on Krishna. Mayi eva manadhatra mayi buddhim niveshaya. And idam jagat atmani ikshasva. And then see that this world is in you. So, world is in you means that you are related to it, you are separate from it. And vittam atmanam mayi adhishvara. And then see that you are situated in me. So the meaning is that you are the support of the world. Because the world exists only because of our karma. And we are existing in Bhagavan. So that's the meaning of seeing the world in you. Ya dhariyate jagat. Krishna says that this Shakti is there which upholds जीव भूता महाभावो येदम धार्यते jagat. So dharyate is what he means here. And atmani ikshasva vidtam atmanam mayadheshware, and the atma is supported by me. Tasmad yukta indriya grama niruddha indriya vriddha. Yukta indriya grama means when senses are under control. Niruddha chitta, and yukta chitta means niruddha chitta. So, san idam sukha dukhamayam jagat atmani bhoktri jive bhogyatvena sthitam. So then you see that this world which gives you sukha and dukha, then this is situated in Atma, the Jiva, who is the Bhokta, and this is the Bhogya. So this is the relationship of the Jiva here in the material world. We think we are the Bhokta, we are the enjoyer, and this world is enjoyed, object of our enjoyment. That is the meaning of seeing this world in you. And then we are in him. Pasyatam cha bhoktaram atmanam mai adhishvare paramatmani niyantri niyamyatvena sthitam. And I am the controller of the jivas, so therefore see that the jivas are situated in me. So this is the meaning. Then Gyan Vijnana Sanyukta Atma Bhuta Sharirinam Atmanubhav Tushtatma Antaraye Vihanyase. So when you will be situated in this knowledge and experience and know yourself that you are not the body, and you will be satisfied with your experience of Atma, then no obstacles will bind you or stop you or cause you trouble. Antaraya na vihanyase. Nanu evam yukta chittatvena karma karane devadyo vignan karishyanti. So he says that when I am going to control the mind and the senses, then the devas, they are going to cause trouble to us. Earlier also it came that devas, they create some problem. Right? It came in one of the slokas, Sapada Moolam. There was another one. And this also says that troubles come to him. So he says that such problems will not come to him. Tvam sevatam surkito bhavo antaraya loko vilanghe paramam brajtam padante. So he says no, jnana veda tatparya nischa. Jnana means to have the understanding of the meaning of the Vedas. So there are two types of Vedagyas, Brahmanas who recite Vedas but they don't know the meaning. They can recite with the hand up and down, you have seen that, right? But they don't understand the meaning. And then there are who know the meaning also, they are called here as Jnana, Ved Tatparya Nishcha. And Vijnana means also having an experience of it, what is being described there. Tadarthanuvatabhyam samyak yukta. So one who is endowed with these two things, he has understanding, means theoretical knowledge is there, experience is also there. So tatascha atma anubhavenaiva tushta chitta. So such a person has knowledge about one's own self and he is completely content with that. Because when you have experience of your own self, then all these material experiences or material pleasures do not attract you. Yasmin sthitena dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate tam labdhva cha param labham manyatena tato adhikam. Having attained that experience, you do not hanker for any of these other material experiences because they look so insignificant to you. And as Krishna says that these material pleasures ultimately lead to suffering. Yehi sansparsja bhoga dukhyone evate. So therefore these people do not take any stock in this material pleasure. So he says tushta chitta, therefore he is fully satisfied. Tatascha sharirinam devadinam api atmabhuta priti patri bhuta sya. Then he becomes the object of affection even of the devas. So now the devas don't cause any trouble. Tathacha shrutihi. So there is also Shruti statement, Vedic statement to this effect, Atma hi esham sabhavati. So he becomes Atma of these devas. Atma becomes Atma means becomes object of affection. That is the meaning of the word Atma here. That is also one of the meaning of the word Atma. Tatascha naivte vignan kuryuriti bhava. So therefore after that they do not cause any vigna or any obstacles to this person. That is the meaning. Dosa buddhyo ubhayatito nishedhat na nivartate gun buddhya cha vihitam na karoti yatharvakaha. So when a person is situated at this state, how does he function in the society? How does he function in life? Sthit pragyasya ka bhasa samadhistasya kesava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. Vrajeta kim means how does he walk, means how does he function in the society. One who has become sthit pragya, one who has become enlightened or self-realized or devoted to Bhagavan. So that is being described here. He says, dosha buddhya ubhayatito nishedhat na nivartate. So he does not engage in forbidden activities, not because these forbidden activities are dosha, they are cause of bondage, cause of trouble, it is a vice. No, he just does not do them naturally. He also engages in prescribed activities not because of gun buddhi. Gun buddhya cha vihitam na karoti. In other words, he continues to perform things which are prescribed and continues to avoid activities which are forbidden, but not because engaging in prescribed activities is a virtue and doing forbidden activities is a vice. So this is not the reason for him to do something and not do other things. Earlier when we are practicing, then we say, oh, this is not prescribed, we should not do this, this is forbidden, this will cause trouble if I do that, and I do something which will give benefit me. But now he has nothing to achieve. He is a kritkritya. As Krishna says that I have nothing to achieve from my karma. Still I function. So he also functions here. One is that he is just habituated now like that. If somebody becomes realized, doesn't mean now he can start breaking rules because he is beyond rules. Beyond rule does not mean that he is not going to follow the rules. He follows because he is just habituated to it. Although he doesn't have to stick to any rules. So he says, yatha arbhaka. So he says he is like a child. Child, of course, is ignorant. He has no concept of good or bad. But here the example of child is given not in the sense that he is also ignorant, but he has no this discrimination of good and bad now, because he is situated in knowledge. He is beyond vidhi and nisheda, that is the meaning. Child does not know what is vidhi and what is nisheda, what is prescription and what is prohibition. He knows it, but he is not bothered about it because he is beyond it. That is what the verse says here. Kincha utpanna jnano api na yathesht acharano bhavati itiyaha. So he says even the person who has attained realization, he does not act frivolously. That is what is being described here. Dosha iti gun dosha buddhya atito api jnani praktan sanskarto nishedhat nivartate eva kintu na dosha buddhya. So he says that although this realized person is beyond the concept of what is good and what is not good, but because of his previous samskaras, he certainly avoids what is prohibited. But not those buddha, not thinking that this is a vice and therefore I should not do it. In other words, now this has become natural for him not to do something wrong and do what is right. So he is just habituated. This is samskara. This is how his nature has become now. So he is not going to do something wrong, but that what is impelling him to do it, not the knowledge that this is wrong and I should not do it, but his samskara from his practice. And vihitasya prayasya karoti na tu gunabuddhya. And what is prescribed, that also he engages, he performs, but not because he should do it, it is good, therefore I should do it. No, he says yatha arbhaka sankalpa vikalpa rahita. Just like a child acts, so child acts without any sankalpa or vikalpa, by his own nature. Child also functions according to just by nature, like animal functions. So like that. And the example is again not to show that he is ignorant like a child, but is just driven by the samskaras. That is the significance of it. Kinchit karoti kutaschit nivartate cha tadvat. Like a child, some things he does, some things he doesn't do. So he is also in the same state. Sarvabhuta sruhit shanto jnana vijnana nishchayah pashyan madatmakam vishvam na vipadyeta vaipunaha. So now this is how he functions. Sarvabhuta sruhit shanta. He is friendly to everybody. He does not have any animosity. Advaishta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha. So that is the status he has. No jealousy, no envy, no fault finding, all this. He is sarvabhuta sruhit and he is shanta, he is peaceful. When we do not have hatred for somebody, mind is peaceful. If our mind is having some feelings of hatred, then we become disturbed. Then we say, oh, I'm triggered. So he doesn't get triggered anymore. The triggering business is over. So therefore he is peaceful. And jnana vijnana nishchaya. So he is fixed in his understanding, in his knowledge and experience. Pashyan madatmakam vishwam. So he sees the whole world existing in Bhagwan or manifestation of Bhagwan's energy, or as if Bhagwan is everywhere, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Madatkam. So na vipadyeta vaipuna. So he doesn't get into trouble anymore. No more troubles, no more vipatti. He's free from that. So this is the instruction which Krishna gave to him. Now Uddhava's question. So Sri Sukha Uvacha, Sri Sukdev said, Ityadishto Bhagavata Mahabhagavato Nripa Uddhava Pranipatyaha Tattva Jigyasudachyutam. So when Bhagavan ordered Uddhava like this, who was Mahabhagavata? May? Why it came? Suddenly why it started? Not doing anything. So yathar bhaka, like a child. So he says that, O king, when Bhagavan Krishna, he instructed the great devotee Uddhava like this. So Uddhava, he paid obeisances to Bhagavan and he spoke to him being a tattva jigyasu. So he realized his swabhava is jigyasu. So now he is acting on his swabhava. But he is a tattva jigyasu. He is not faltu jigyasu. No useless jigyasa, but good one, tattva jigyasa. So this says Uddhava Vacha. Yogesha yoga vinyasa yogatman yoga sambhava nishresaya me proktastyaga sannyasa lakshanaha. So he is first addressing Bhagavan Krishna in 4 words. Yogesha, that you are the master of yoga. Yoga vinyasa, you are the object of yoga. Yoga is offered to you. Yogatman, you are the very Atma of yoga. And Yoga Sambhav, you manifest yourself through yoga, or you are the source of yoga. So after saying all this, then he says, Nishresaya me proktas tyaga sannyasa lakshana. So he says that for my welfare, you have said that I should engage in tyaga, renunciation, which is characterized by sannyas. Sannyas means samyak nyasa, give up everything. This is your instruction. That is tvam tu parityajya, right? Sneham swajan bandhuso. So that is your instruction to me. Tvam tu sarvam parityajya sneham swajan bandhuso. Maya avesha mana samyak. So this is what you are telling me. But how I am going to do this? That is the question. So Yogesha, hey Yogesha, what is the meaning of Yogesha? Yoga nam, karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga nam Ishvara. Means you are the ruler, master, controller of the karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. These are the 3 yoga which Krishna will speak here in 11th canto. Each one of them he will give instructions. So that's why he is translating Yogesa as this. Ateva yoga vinyasa. Therefore you are yoga vinyasa. What is the meaning? Anadhikarini api mai yogam jnanam samprati saprabhavadeva vinyasti ityartha. So he says, even those who are not qualified for yoga, even to them you give knowledge, Mai yogam jnanam, samprati saprabhavadeva vinyasya. So vinyas also means like throwing, giving, putting. So you give knowledge of yoga even to those who are not qualified. So who is that who is not qualified? Saying about himself. So he says, anadhikarani api mai, that I am not qualified to hear this knowledge, but you are giving it, therefore I call you as yoga vinyasan. Yogatman, you are yogatma, he yoga swarupa, yadi tvam maya prapta tarhi sarva yoga prapta eva. So you are the swarup of yoga, atma means swarup, and because I have attained you, therefore I have attained all yogas. Kincha yogad bhakti yogadeva tvam sambhavasi. Then yoga sambhava. So yoga sambhava, these words can be translated in so many different ways. Some words have many meanings. Yoga is one of them. So, and then you put it in the samas, compound word, you have more variety of meaning. So it says yoga sambhava here means that you appear by your bhakti yoga. Sambhava also means birth. So you take birth by your yoga maya. So sambhavami yoga yoga by his atma maya. So therefore yoga sambhava. Bhaktesu avirbhavsi iti mayam bhakti yoga visheshto deya iti bhava. So what is the significance? It says therefore I want bhakti yoga. Although you know all the yogas, but my interest is only bhakti yoga. Tyago ayam duskaro bhuman kama nam vishayatma bhi sutram tvai sarvatman na bhaktairiti me matihi. So he says that you are talking about tyaga, to give up, but he says that is very difficult to execute, to perform this. What is that tyaga? Kama nam vishayatma bhi. What is kamana tyaga? Desire, giving up desire. So it is very difficult for people who are vishayatma, who consider the sense of pleasures as their very life. They cannot live without them. So how will they give it up? It's just like giving up your life. If they are vishayatma, means they consider their very atma to be vishaya or their self, as if they subsist only on sense object. So how will they give it up? It's very difficult. It's like committing suicide. So sutram tvai sarvatman bhaktairiti memati. So therefore those who are abhaktas, who are not devotees, it is very, very difficult for them to give up. In other words, if at all it is possible to give up these vishayas, that is only through bhakti and not by any other process. Vishayatmabhir vishyavisht chittais tvad bhaktairapi duskara bhaktaistu sutaram. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is taking it into one more step. He says that even those devotees who are attached to sense object, it is difficult even for them to give up. But to speak of those who are not devotees. In other words, this Vishayatma is saying there are two categories of people who are attached to sense objects. Those who are not devotees and those who are devotees. Means there are devotees also who are having attraction towards sense objects. So it is very difficult for them to give up. And then he says, what to speak if they are not devotees? Then it is impossible. That is the significance. So So he says, Soham mamaham iti moodhmatir vigadhas tvanmaya virichitatmani sanubandhe tattvajinsa nigatam bhavata yathaham sansadhyami bhagwanan sadhibhrityam. So he says that I am a moodhamati, I am a foolish person. Why? Because I am having all this idea, I am this body, these things belong to me. And vigadhastvan maya virichitatmani sanubandhe. And these attachments are very intense because of your maya, which is imposed on myself. So tattvam tvanjasa nigatitam bhavata yathaham. So please instruct me how I can transcend all this. You are my master, I am your servant, so give me instruction to go beyond it. Sacha vishyavischitto ahameva yatastvan maya virachite atmani dehe sanubandhe putra kalatradi sahito vigadho nimagneti. So he says that this Vishyavist Chitta, which I said that there are devotees who are absorbed in sense object, he says there is no one else, that person is me only. Because this body and the things related to body are all composed of your Maya, and I am completely drowning in them. Children, wife, possessions. Dehasya andhukupatvam aropitam. So he is comparing the body to be like a well, and he is saying I am inside the well. Tena tad avesha tyajanam eva tasmad uddhara pratham karya tadanantram eva jnanati updesha iti dhvani tat tasmat. So by this what he is indicating is that first you please uplift me from this well called body, which means that you please release me from the attachment to the body. I am completely in this well and I don't think beyond that. And then only you give me instruction, and then I will be able to understand. If you are drowning in the well and somebody says, listen to the Bhagavad Gita lecture, so will you listen Bhagavad Gita lecture? He says, first take me out from here, then you can speak. So this is what he says, that the body itself is the well. So this is a good analogy, because if you see how we are situated in the body, it's just like a well, because we don't think beyond it. If you go inside a well, then that is called Kupamanduka, right? Frog in a well. So frog thinks that this well is the whole world. So we get into the body, and then this is our sansar, this is our world. Whatever comes to the well of the body, that's what we know. So therefore he says, first please uplift me from this, and then give me instructions. Sandeep.
Thank Babaji Maharaj. So this ninth shloka, that these jivas are controlled by me. So that is actually meaning by the karma, na?
Yes.
He is overseeing that karma.
Yes.
So no direct control as such.
He has better things to do.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay.